So it looks like Japanese FTC just approved the Xbox Activision acquisition. Let's look into this. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I've got some more good news regarding Xbox Activision acquisition. So we know that European Union is pretty much okay with that deal going through. Now CMA actually released a sort of a preliminary report saying that they are okay with that deal going through as well. Now mind you, they still have to work out some sort of agreement when it comes to cloud gaming and stuff, so there will be some concessions, but I mean Microsoft is signing all these cloud deals left and right. And now Japanese FTC pretty much approved that deal as well. And they actually published a 43-page document talking about it. So this information is a courtesy of Mauro on Twitter, who posted this. The Japan Fair Trade Commission has determined that the proposed integration of Activision Blizzard and Microsoft would not substantially restrain competition in certain fields of trade, and they published that 43-page document. Now, okay, so that document, that PDF document, which you will find the link in the description below, so you can check it yourself. But it's all in Japanese, of course. So I'm not really sure if that's going to be any use to you unless you know Japanese. But yeah, looks like that deal is actually going through, guys, because it's actually interesting that they did that so quickly as well. I'm not aware of the kind of schedule. I know that there's a number of people on Twitter posting these schedules of what's going on and when things will happen and that kind of stuff. But looks like some of these regulators do not stick to these deadlines per se. So they do set deadlines, but sometimes they make decisions a bit earlier. So deadline is just that they have to make a decision by that time, but they may as well make a decision a little bit earlier. And I mean, we're still waiting for official, like, final report from both CMA and European Union. But this one, I think, is a final document from Japanese Trade Commission. And the interesting part about it is that, like, I've heard some rumors that JFTC had some issues with that deal at first. But the thing is, like, I'm not sure if you notice a pattern here, because, like, when I've seen these reports, I was like, okay, so are we going to have issues with that deal going through in Japan? And we know that Sony is a dominant player in that market. So, you know, I'm sure they were lobbying for that deal to actually be blocked and stuff, and I'm sure that they did their thing there. So I guess maybe that's why we did hear all these rumors and reports about Japanese FTC being concerned about this deal going through. But it looks like I said, that's why I was talking about seeing a pattern here, because just like with European Commission or FTC or, you know, in States or CMA, you've got Sony crying to these regulators about that deal. Then these regulators would publish, you know, Sony's concerns, really, not their concerns, because looks like these regulators are not really fully aware, or they don't really know the gaming market well, so they just went with what Sony was telling them. And then once it came to, like, providing evidence for these claims, they were like, yeah, sorry guys, we don't see any issue with that deal. We don't understand why you are actually crying that much about this deal, Sony, and we are allowing this deal to go through. And I'm sure you see pattern here, right? Where it happened. It did happen every single time with every single regulator, maybe except Brazil, which was kind of public. But I don't remember if Brazil had any issues per se. I know that they were publishing some of the concerns that Sony had, but I don't remember if these were sort of their concerns later, because like Brazil was actually one of the first to actually approve that deal. There was Saudi Arabia regulators approving that deal as well. So now we're actually waiting for final report from European Union, so European Commission really, CMA, and looks like we will. So that's coming next month. European Commission will publish the final report by end of May. They may do it earlier, who knows. Now we've got Japan approving that deal, and I think we're still waiting for Chinese and New Zealand one, and there might be one more country that is actually looking into it. So yeah, guys, looks like this deal is going through okay, and I mean, there's no stopping Microsoft now when it comes to that deal, which is good. And I know that some people, I'm not going to be talking about crying anymore, but like, I know that a lot of people are concerned about Microsoft and Microsoft monopolizing the gaming industry, but do you really think that's going to happen? I don't think so, because like, gaming market is so competitive, and what actually Microsoft is actually chasing now more than anything is that mobile market, because like, that's why I think now they are looking into cloud solutions, and because it's not only about game streaming per se, it's more about accessing the mobile stores, mobile market really, because that's what it's all about really, in my opinion. And that's what Xbox is actually chasing, because you can grow in the console market by a little bit, but not much really. And Microsoft is doing very well in the PC market, so that produces a lot of money for them as well. But if you really want to make even more money, you have to chase the mobile market. That's where most of the gaming revenue is coming from, and that's why Activision Blizzard deal is actually important for Microsoft. And this is actually another thing, like we say, oh, it's Xbox Activision deal, but for Microsoft really, when they look at from business perspective, it's more about Xbox King acquisition. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that that acquisition of Activision or Blizzard is not important for them. It's a part of the deal, obviously. But Microsoft has been very vocal about the fact that they want to make that mobile push. And I think even that was after they acquired Bethesda. And whenever Phil Spencer mainly really, whenever he got asked about future acquisition, he was like, yeah, you know what, right now if anything we would love to chase some mobile acquisitions, right? And Activision Blizzard is that. I mean, it's actually interesting because with Activision Blizzard King acquisition, they are getting actually couple pieces of a big pie. Because not only they are acquiring one of the biggest IPs in gaming, Call of Duty, then they've got Blizzard with World of Warcraft 2, and King, which is like MMO and that kind of stuff, like one of the biggest ones, of course, and then King, which obviously sets them pretty well for chasing any of their mobile dreams, right? So it kind of makes sense. So anyway, it doesn't really matter at this point, right? Looks like this deal is going through, it's just a matter of time. So I would not be surprised if Microsoft announced that they are moving forward with Activision Blizzard King acquisition by by June, right? I wonder what's going to happen with FTC, but looks like Michael Pachter is actually of an opinion that FTC will strike a deal with Microsoft before that August court case or hearing that they've got in this FTC court, right? So that may happen. If that happens, then yeah, it's a done deal anyway. But even if they were to wait for FTC, trial and whatever, because if they will go, if they will go to court, well, it may take a while. So it probably until 2024. So Microsoft did say pretty much that they will go ahead and buy, they will acquire Activision Blizzard King anyway, even if FTC would not. I mean, FTC cannot make a decision. It's a judge that makes the decision. So, but they can't wait anymore. So they will just fight in courts, all kind of courts, for as long as it's necessary. Anyway, guys, so that's the video. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for support. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.